So this is the review recap for The Next 15, Season 1, Episode 6. New York State of Mind? Oh, however you want to say that. And here's the main issues. One is Benzino versus Claudia. This is where we find out that Benzino, he is seen as the good guy, but not everyone's a fan of him. One of the people that aren't fans of him, at least right now, is Claudia. Benzino, because he has his, of course, prior commitment to his family first, back in Atlanta, that causes him to go back and forth between there and LA. As a result, he does miss some of the events that some of the meetings that they're hosting for their new show. Well, to create ideas and get the ball rolling for their new show. So that's one of the main issues that, actually that is the main issue, the crux of why Benzino and Claudia are at odds at this point. Also, people still aren't seeing Claudia in that leadership role. They still don't accept the fact that, okay, she is the executive producer. They respect Karamo more than they respect Claudia. I think Claudia forgets that, unfortunately, because she is a woman, especially in a management role, she has to work 3 times as hard to make sure that people take her seriously. Because this whole being petty and acting like a cast member instead of being the manager or the executive producer, that's messing with her image with the other, like I said, cast members. And at this point, it's everyone. Everyone feels like, okay, she needs to stop drinking the Kool-Aid of, I can have my cake and eat it too, as far as be shady or maybe act a little more immature than she should for the type of position she's trying to command. And that's one of the main issues. Claudia doesn't really get it at this. Well, actually, that's not true. Claudia gets it, but now she's trying to change it, and it's almost like it's too late. It's borderline because, like I said, they actually had a meeting. New York brought them all out, and New York just wanted to have a good time with everyone. I mean, it was Laura, Jennifer, Karamo, and Benzino. Because, Tiffany loves Benzino. But she was saying, I didn't invite Claudia because she felt like she would have started stuff. And I'm actually just going to push this back a little bit because I feel like it's maybe a little bit too close. Yeah, so aside from that, you have everyone just like, Claudia is not the manager. She's more so like a cast member, like I previously stated. And it's really sad because I can see that Claudia is putting in the work even though they can't, because again, every time they come together for a meeting, it's all about bringing up personal dumb stuff. That's not what these means. This never happens in a real professional setting. So that's why people aren't taking it seriously, and that's why they're giving Karamo that respect of leadership. And the thing is, it almost starts to sound like a stereotypical, oh, well, she's being emotional and she's being difficult. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm seeing this. The cast is almost a 50-50 split between the men and the women. And, well, essentially, since we hear the revelation that New York is not going to be a part of the talk show. The Next 15, yeah, that's cool. But the talk show, no, she has other stuff going on. Prime example, Family Therapy with Dr. Jen. And I will be reviewing that, so watch out for that review because that show, oh my gosh. That show goes there. And I'm so glad it goes there, if you know what I mean, because they're taking absolutely no prisoners. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Aside from that, we have, like I said, Claudia is talking with Karamo because after they tell Karamo that, you know what, we're cool with you, we see you putting in the work, we're cool with you being the leader, taking charge, being the boss, managing us, and I don't know why, but that only rubs me the wrong way, only because I'm like, shouldn't all of you kind of want to be the boss in some type of way, shape, or fashion? I'm like, you're running your own careers, aren't you? So why wouldn't you want an equal part in running the show. But, yeah, so Claudia actually takes Laura out in order to go set shopping because they need a set. They don't have a set, so they can have a show without one. And it's pretty bad because Laura really just reaffirms the fact that Claudia doesn't have all her ducks in order at this point, and this is a really important time for her to do so. And that's because, like I said, they don't see her as that leader. And so Laura was asking her important questions like, okay, so, well, and also the guy who owned the area, who's like, so what's your vision of what's going on? What do you see? And Claudia was just like, you know, right now, I don't know, don't really have one. It's like I have one, but I don't. And that's a huge issue because we know how this works. They only have, what, a month or so to get the pilot out? It's like some crazy exacerbated launch time. And so they had to figure out what they're going to do because Laura realizes, do you have a vision board or anything like that? I have nothing. And I was so upset that Claudia actually said that, because how are you going to command respect if that's the situation? There was one part where Karamo's son is a part of his event, the, what is it, 6 out of 10 event, where it's bringing HIV and AIDS awareness, and that was very cool. Now, here was some of the issues. Well, actually, before the issue, one small minor issue was Karamo and his son. Karamo's son decided he doesn't want to go to college. He has a job, and so he will be employed. Karamo is proud. In the same breath, he's like, yeah, and I'm not going to college. He was like, the hell you're not. You're not living under my roof and not playing by my rules. And part of those rules is to get a higher education. And the thing is, Karamo's son, at least at this point, doesn't have it figured out, like, what his real plan is. It's kind of like going with the flow, whatever comes at him, that's what he's going with. And Karamo sees that, and that's why I'm sure he's a little shook, and it's like, look, my man, you're not going to go and play yourself like that, and you're not going to go and play me like that. You go and do this career. You go and you do that, and a lot of the times, people fail. He's like, but there are people who succeed and you're around them all the time. It's like, I'm around a lot of people who do a lot of things. And that's part of that is fail. And so we're going to talk about this because in one shape or fashion, you're going to school. That's how it's going to be. So that's that. Yeah. And again, it is important if you don't have a plan to at least put yourself out there. And putting yourself out there, in my opinion, is going to a higher education program, whether it's college, vocational school, something. You need to do something because you also need that worldly exposure, because a lot of people don't have that worldly exposure. They have that community exposure, but not worldly. So again, Karamo's just like, you know what? This is my event. We're not going to have any drama. Do you know the cast? Do you know the cast? And it's funny because New York wasn't really out there with them, and she was in the back for some reason. I don't know exactly why, but aside from that, well, actually, New York might have been sitting there with them, if I'm not mistaken. But she was good. She was calm, cool, collected. The odd part was the fact that Claudia and Benzino, they decided to go and, not they, it really wasn't they. Claudia, see, this is part of the issue. Claudia chooses the worst times to go and speak on things. It's like, and again, I do understand why Benzino was over it. Benzino hasn't been feeling well. That's why he's been missing the meetings. And Claudia has been very vocal about that. Completely understandably so, because you're doing a show. But the fact that Claudia brought up the fact that, Benzino, you know, how are you going to say that I'm not this or I'm not that? Or you want Karamo to do this or do that when you don't even come to the meetings? And I'm like, bad timing. That is the issue. Bad timing. There's nothing professional about this. You could literally have a 5-minute conversation on the side about this. I mean, Claudia clearly, sometimes it's like moments of, really, Claudia, really? Because you can tell that she's just not thinking clearly. If she just took a moment, stepped back, and realized, yeah, this isn't the best move for me. Because that was the main issue. It wasn't even the fact that, oh, Benzino wasn't there. Benzino's major issue was, you're doing this right here. And I agree. This was probably one of the few times when the conflict resolution skills and, you know, maybe not being so forward, where that wasn't a positive. That really wasn't. The timing was off. I don't think it was respectful to Karamo or his event because, again, she wasn't raising her voice. She wasn't purposely making a scene, but because of the subject matter she was bringing up, and they both had issues with it, it was creating a scene. And so, the one thing is, I don't really like how Benzino was kind of dismissive, and again, the other ladies were doing it to Claudia too, but I was upset because I was really here for Benzino and his rhetoric with this show, and then I do kind of see how it's like, as long as everything's calm, cool, and collected, with the ladies, it's fine, but I don't know if he's really sure how to handle that. Alright, I have a real issue, or she has a real issue with me, and we just need to talk it out. But again, all of that becomes null and void when you realize the location. It was funny. New York was going off. New York, well, yeah, I said it correctly. That wasn't Tiffany. New York was going off. She was like, what'd you do? Where's Benzino? What happened to Benzino? I'm like, New York, calm down. Calm down. We want Tiffany. We want the calmer side. Tiffany, come back. Come back to us, because we can't handle New York right now. And New York was over it because it was like, what did she do to my man? I mean, Althea's man. Speaking of that, Karamo and Karamo and Benzino, they were at the basketball court and they were just chopping it up. And it was interesting because the conversation started, of course, with how, you know, Benzino doesn't feel like Claudia is the best fit for the leadership role, and how she's currently been running things and everyone has an issue with her. Essentially the same thing New York was saying, but then it switched to this rhetoric of, you know, by the way, Karamo, if you were to go back to the other side, who would you choose? And Karamo said Laura, and I was like, Laura's a bad one, so bad one isn't good, people. Come on now. So, yeah, I can definitely see why, but he was like, she has that, like, mannish. I was like, wait, where are you going with this? Where are you going with this? And he was just saying, of course, she was like a girl's guy. Is that how it's said? Or a guy's girl? Where she really is just cool and easy to get with and easy to get along with type. And I can definitely see that because Laura, that's how she presents herself, so absolutely. And yeah, Karamo has Benzino, and Benzino's like, Althea? I was like, there we go, Benzino. Because you know that was a trap. You know that was a trap. So shout out to you for not falling for that. And it was, I feel bad because sometimes I really think, crap, is New York on something? At first, I thought it was just, personality, emotional issues, but now I am convinced that maybe there's a little extra, a cocktail of something in there because, or maybe needs to be implemented into there because this is a little too much. But then when you see how Sister Patterson is, Sister Patterson also has that I can go goes from 0 to 100, but I feel like Sister Patterson, because she's more mature, she understands that it's like, I know this is how I'm reacting, so just accept it or don't. So look, there's just way too much going on. I really need them to get it together because the show, by the way, is called The Comment. And I know this is so late saying this, but it's called The Comment, and essentially it's going to be about all of our comments. And it's like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And Laura and Jen need to put some more work in. Because Laura's like, you know, I'm not really in touch with what's currently going on in the world or the headlines. And I'm like, that's okay, except for the fact that you have a show where that's what it's all about. And also, Jen doesn't have any real ideas yet. And that's an issue because Jen is seen as someone who physically is adding something, but something of substance, not so much. So she needs to get that together because the naysayers are going to continue to say what they say until she proves them wrong. That was pretty much it. You know, I had the show recorded and I watched it, and then the recording got deleted. I don't think I deleted it, but it's gone. So I had to do that straight off the dome. So that was that. And let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to think. Was there anything in the beginning that I missed out on? No, I think I covered everything. Just maybe not in full detail. Jen. Oh, Tiffany is... Oh, see, New York, this is great because New York's actually going to do voiceover work. And that's perfect because you do need to be able to convey a certain personality just purely through your voice and different characters. And she does have a unique voice. So I think that's a great thing for her. I really think that is a great thing for her. It was entertaining too, and it looks like she definitely wants to go for mainstream stuff. And shout out to her for that, because she knows what she wants, and she's willing to put in the work for what she really wants. That's why I'm like, I know this isn't what she wants, you know, with the whole talk show thing. So please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. See you later.